Hello guys, it is Gated Theories here, and on New Year's Day 2021, two very big things happened for Doctor Who. Firstly, Revolution of the Daleks, another New Year special under Chris Chibnall's reign, and Doctor Who leaving Netflix after being part of Netflix's giant library since 2013. This definitely cannot help this currently dying show. Everyone knows about Doctor Who's decline over the past few years, and to be honest, it's getting worse every single day. Usually, the Doctor Who specials are some of the biggest events for Doctor Who every year, with Voyage of the Damned in 2007 gaining 13.31 million viewers, the biggest since the revival. However, the 2019 New Year's special Resolution gained a minimal 5.15 million viewers, the lowest special figures ever. Then, 2020 Spyfall special got 4.88 million viewers, the next lowest. And finally, this year's Revolution of the Daleks has once again managed to win the title for the lowest watched special, only getting 4.69 million viewers. Now, times have changed since 2007. Firstly, most shows we now watch are all on streaming services, but now Doctor Who has thoroughly been dented due to the fact that Netflix has taken it away, which means a large proportion of the fan base now can't watch the show on their ideal streaming service, and instead are going to have to find other ones. Now, viewing figures don't mean everything, but with extremely bad writing, annoying fans with the Timeless Children finale, and just too many things to count, the show needs something new, and it needs something new fast. And with the BBC also on the verge of collapse, maybe it's time for Doctor Who to be made by another company, with new, fresh ideas, as it's going to be on the verge of cancellation probably very soon. And that's why streaming services such as Amazon, which used to stream Doctor Who on Prime, and Netflix comes in. Yes, Netflix has just taken off Doctor Who from their catalogue, but it was on for so long it could very easily return. But maybe not return as a BBC show. What if Doctor Who became a Netflix or Amazon original? Would it be enough to save the show, or is this show just doomed to be cancelled? So today we're going to theorise this hypothetical scenario and see whether it would actually work and save Doctor Who, or just lead it to more cancellation. Would Doctor Who work on a streaming service such as Amazon or Netflix, or should it just stay with the BBC? Let's find out. But before we go any further, please make sure that you've clicked that red subscribe button down below and have your notifications turned on so that you get notified every time we make a brand new video. Firstly, let's get some of the big negatives out of the way. If Doctor Who was to be made by something that isn't the BBC, and instead a streaming service like Amazon or Netflix, what would be the big negative? The biggest one would be British culture. Doctor Who is literally cemented into British culture everywhere. Every person living in Britain knows what it is, and everyone will have some sort of opinion on it, whether they love it or hate it. This can decrease slightly when there isn't much hype around the show, but when there is, like in the 50th anniversary special, you literally cannot escape this show. The show itself also focuses a lot on Britain, very much so. Basically, all of the modern day and classic companions, bar a few, came from Britain, from places such as London, Edinburgh, and even Sheffield recently. The show always centres around mainly British history, what is happening in the UK at the present moment, and most of the action always seems to happen in the UK. And it is this sense of culture that makes the show so brilliant. Now, does that mean that going to streaming services would change that? No, definitely not. The streaming service such as Amazon or Netflix could very easily set the show in the same place, and after all, they wouldn't want to change the show too drastically, but since it's on a streaming service, it wouldn't necessarily be aimed just at British viewers. Now, that isn't really unheard of for Doctor Who, especially in recent years. For example, in Matt Smith's years, many key episodes took place in America instead of Britain, such as The Impossible Astronaut or Angels Take Manhattan, two episodes that have long-lasting effects. Plus, one of the most fan-favourite companions, Captain Jack, is American. So clearly the show can easily survive fine with new audiences and different settings, but still maintain that British essence the show was originally based from if it went to streaming. However, like I've just been saying, the show would now appeal to a much more bigger audience if it was on a streaming service. Since the revival, the show has been appealing to more audiences all around the world, and becoming a Netflix or Amazon original would just hype it up even more. Think about how many people watch Stranger Things or other Netflix originals. Absolutely loads. This could finally make the hype for the show go wild and crazy again like it used to be. And along with this would come much better promotion. Amazon, Netflix, Disney Plus, they're all streaming services that put so much money into promotion and advertisement. That's why so many people use their service. And that is how their shows and movies do so well, because they get the fan base excited by interacting. The BBC, well, they're just not the best at it. Look at the most recent episode, Revolution of the Daleks. We didn't even know whether it was a Christmas or New Year's special till only a few weeks before, and we barely even knew what the name was until only a month before. The first actual teaser we got for the episode was on the anniversary, only a month and a few days before the episode was aired, and it only showed a 30-second clip with about 3 seconds of actual footage of Jack in the episode. That means they had to cram all their promotion into literally 1 month. Like, what? Netflix and Amazon would be sure to promote the show long before it airs to build up the hype, so more of the fan base and newcomers come to watch the show, instead of the BBC's quick and frankly corrupt way of promoting. Now, let's also talk about another problem the BBC is now lacking, and to be honest, the show has been lacking for a long time. That is the budget. I'm pretty sure every person who's watching this video has seen at least one episode of Doctor Who where there has just been no budget for that episode and it just looks crap. It doesn't just happen in the classic era, but also the modern era of Doctor Who as well. Just look at some of the spiders in Arachnids in the UK, or the Lazarus experiment. It just looks so lazy and so bad and just unrealistic. Streaming services as big as Amazon and Netflix would probably spend about the same amount of money used for an entire season of Doctor Who on one single episode. Think about how amazing the show could become. For example, the show Top Gear was reinvented as the Grand Tour on Amazon, and the budget massively increased per episode, allowing more stunts and action to take place, and in turn making the show a lot more enjoyable and fun. Doctor Who could get the exact same treatment, no more lazy effects. Along with this, the new budget could mean new writers and editors, new actors, and have fresh ideas, because currently the show just lacks them. I think everyone agrees we can't have any more in-your-face political talks or characters based off political figures, because, to be honest, I come for Doctor Who to escape, not to think about the actual world around me. And recently, that's all we've been getting. Poor writing, political decisions, and just a lot more. With a new budget, the ideas could expand much further than what the BBC could cope with and currently do. And finally, there's a very small chance of cancellation if it did go onto a streaming service. Currently, the BBC just have no idea what they're doing to their most loved show. Maybe Amazon or Netflix could lend a helping hand and change things up a little. Not only do both companies and other streaming services have very high success rates, but they've done it before with lots of other shows. For example, the show Lucifer went off Amazon and onto Netflix, and it is still as popular as ever, and maybe even more popular now. There is just clearly a higher chance of success and not crap underdeveloped stories taking place if it appears on a streaming service. However, I do admit, as a fan of the show, I probably wouldn't necessarily want the show on Netflix or Amazon or another streaming service. I just love it on the BBC. It may just take away the one thing that we love about the show. The BBC could easily save this show if they just went back to their original idea. It was originally made on a low budget, and they used stuff around them to make the creatures, such as the Daleks, by literally taking something as simple as a toilet plunger and creating it into such an iconic alien. Just look at the movie An Adventure in Space and Time, where it shows how they originally made the TV show, such as the TARDIS, by literally putting some bits of cardboard together to create a design. They've kind of lost their way with what they're doing, and they sort of need to ground it back to square one and maybe just take a little break and come back better than ever. Hopefully that's what the BBC will do before the show gets cancelled, but if it is on the verge of cancellation, do we all think that maybe these streaming services could be something that could take the show and turn it into something even better? But anyway guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you have enjoyed it. If you have, make sure that you smash that like button down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Let us know down below in the comments all of your thoughts about the positives and the negatives of whether you think Doctor Who should become a streaming service original, maybe a Netflix original, maybe an Amazon original, or do you reckon it should just stay on the BBC and maybe get a bit more better writing, because I think we can all admit it's going downhill. But anyway guys, I hope you have enjoyed this video, and as always, we've been here at Gate of Theories. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.